Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I'm Star. The message I heard is you can't run from your destiny by pretending to be the old you. The scripture comes from Obadiah 11 and 18. Jacob will be a fire and Joseph a flame. Esau will be stubble, and they will set him on fire and destroy him. There will be no survivors from Esau. The Lord has spoken. People from the Negev will occupy the mountains of Esau, and people from the foothills will possess the land of the Philistines. They will occupy the fields of Ephraim and Samaria, and Benjamin will possess Gilead. This company of Israelite exiles who are Canaan will possess the land as far as Zarephath. The exiles from Jerusalem who are in Sephard will possess the town of Negev. Deliverers will go up on Mount Zion to govern the mountains of Esau, and the kingdom will be the Lord's. So here's the message. Here's the message. Here's the message. Here's the message. I feel like this is very close knit with the last message. Okay, check it out if you haven't. But God said, in the last message, God was speaking about how, okay, God was using me to speak about how sometimes when you are saved, you become so different from who you used to be that there may be people that will try to do things in order to get you to go back to what you used to do and to act the way you used to do. So here's what God is saying. I just feel like this is a message for both sides. This would be for someone that is trying to do this as well as you. Even if you were to think to yourself, well, if I just go back to being who I used to be, maybe they will leave me alone. Here's the thing. And even for the people that think, well, if I could just get them to lash out at me, and if I could just get them to fight me, if I could just get them to do this, that, and the third, God said, it don't matter. It don't matter, and it don't matter some more. He not like it don't matter. It don't matter. Just the same exact way. Okay? The same exact way that God pulled you out from being that person back then to being who you are today. Just because somebody decided that they were going to mess with you to the point of no return and you couldn't think straight no more because you are a person, confirmation. Because you are people and you are entitled to emotions, and one of those emotions just happens to be anger. And if somebody come up to you and they put their hands on you and you couldn't think straight and you just went ahead and your reflex is strong, because baby, let me tell you about life, but your reflex is strong, you took you hit the that don't mean that now all of a sudden God can't use you no more. Just because somebody said one too many things to you and you was trying to walk away, you know how like I just felt like it could be a situation where somebody just keep picking at you and they keep saying stuff to you. I remember one time I was at work and this person, they kept messing with me, y'all. Poor little 19-year-old me. I was trying to keep my cool. I'm trying to find the person in charge so they could deal with the person that this lady followed me through the nursing home, trying to find a charge nurse, couldn't find a charge. Me and her going at it. And I should do this and I should do that. I'm like, look, lady, you touch me, we gonna be all the popping up in here. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find a lady. I can't find a lady. By the time I did, we didn't actually get in a fight, but I ended up going to one of the patient's room, and the patient ended up calming me down. You know what I'm saying? God will use any and everybody, when I say God use that lady to calm me down, like, baby. But I just feel like For somebody, you are going through it. Okay, there's somebody, and this may very well be somebody that's sitting around and they are trying to figure out, because they got this exposed. They got to expose you. They going to expose you. They going to expose you. They just completely, they mind is so gone that they don't realize, obviously, if you don't do the things that you used to do, you don't act the way you used to act. You don't go to the places you used to go to. You don't hang out with the people you used to hang out with. You don't even talk to these people no more. You are not interested in the same things you used to be interested in. You are obviously a different person. Clearly, this person is so stuck on who you used to be, and they want to bring that back to light. Like they just got to pull it out of you. Here's the catch. Even if this person was to get you so angry, regardless if it's to a point to where they are physically touching you and you defend yourself, or if they get you to a point to where they are constantly in your ear, and it gets to a point they say something below the belt, they say something that, confirmation, they say something below the belt, and whatever it is they say, it takes you there, and you go off. That does not mean that God can't use you. That does not mean that now all of a sudden the destiny God has for you is null and void. This person and what they are conspiring to do is not going to prosper. If what they are doing, it is going to fall upon their own head. If anything, you going to have one good testimony. One good testimony. Because if you know, like baby, y'all already know your girl will be quick to come and sit in a chair and tell y'all and it don't have to be this one. I'm quick to sit in a chair and tell y'all my testimony and about what happened. And sometimes it may come with a little tea, but it is what it is. It's part of the story. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like whoever this person is, like they sit around and they plan and they conspire to themselves, and they sit and they speak to themselves about what they could possibly do, because they got to get you. They got to get you. They got to put an end to it. God says there's nothing that this person can do that will get you to forfeit your destiny. Your destiny is set in stone. Even if you were to go back to acting the exact way you used to, even if you were to go back to being a person, I just feel like this is somebody you let a lot of stuff slide. Even if you were back to the same person where you always going off and you always doing this and you always doing that and you always doing it, nothing it's not going to touch what God has for you. It's not going to take away what God has for you. This is, I just feel like for whoever you are, even who you used to be, you weren't a bad person. Like the identity that this person has in their mind of who you used to be is not what it really was. That's not who you really were. You weren't as bad as this person thinks. And, you weren't. It's not like, I just feel like this is somebody, they have an identity issue with who you are, but in reality, you were not who they think you were. And for some of them, they may not even know. I feel like this is people that was barely around you. They don't even know who you used to be. They don't even know who you used to be. They may have had all these little claims about you, and just because you wasn't up under them all day, they just claim you were doing this. For some of you, they claim that you were on drugs that you were not on. They claim you were at places you were not. They claim that you were hanging around people you weren't hanging around. They claim that you were partaking in things you were not partaking in. They went and they told all these lies about you. And now they are upset because what they said about you isn't true. And they want to bring that to the light. Who you used to be is not who they thought you were anyway. They was wrong. And they don't want to admit it. They lied. And they don't want to admit it. Like, regardless as to why they lied on you, regardless if people gave them a pity party because of what they lied and said you were doing that you weren't, or if it's a situation where they just wanted you to look so bad so that they could look better than you. It could be a situation with somebody, they just wanted to look like they were just so wonderful and they were so perfect and they have everything going on. They can do that without attacking your character. They don't have to attack your character in order for them to look good. That's not right. If you have to attack somebody else's character in order for you to look good, how good are you? But I just feel like this is somebody that they want you to go back to being the old you. But in reality, they don't even know who that is. Lord have mercy. This is somebody that really, like, they don't even know you. They don't even know you for real. They don't know who the old you is. And they trying to get you to go back to being this old person. For some of you, this is people that didn't even know you back then. They have been told lies by other people and they believe those lies. So now they are expecting you to act a certain way and to do certain things, and they not even realizing, it's not clicking in their head that they are believing lies, and you were never that way to begin with. You never did that thing. It's a difference between somebody that lashes out and attacks people for no reason and somebody that is defending themselves. These are two completely different things. And for some of you, there were people that lied and act as if you were just always picking on them and you were always so mean and you were always attacking them. But in reality, you were defending yourself. And you weren't worried about them like that. But if they mess with you or your kids, yeah, you're going to have something to say. That's a different story. These are two completely different things. But if this is somebody that they wanted this, they wanted to pull this person to that, that's fine. They can go to their side all they want to. But in reality, they not going to get the results that they want because you are not who they said you are. You never were. You never were. You were never that, like, I hear God saying for some, you were never that bad as what they saying. You were never that bad. You wasn't doing what they trying to say you was doing. You wasn't doing all that. They try to act like you was just soft, Sarah. You was never doing all that. Some of these people that's trying to act as if you was just so bad, they worse than you were. They worse than you were back then. But they wanted to make themselves look good. They was the ones doing all the picking and messing with you and bullying you and harassing you, and they doing this and they doing that and they doing all the conspiring they can to try to get at you, and you just minding your business and defending yourself, because why wouldn't you? Who would just sit around and let people mess with them? Who would just sit around and let people bully them? Who would just sit around and let people harass them? You are entitled to defending yourself. But there's somebody that don't think that. They don't think that. No, they don't feel like you should have the right to defend yourself. They feel like you shouldn't have the right to stand up for yourself. They feel as though you shouldn't have the right to say that they were wrong for what they did to you. But you do. And it's not right that now they're trying to say that you're just this awful person that you're not. You wasn't doing all that. You wasn't acting that way. Hoo-wee. Baby, this is a scandal. This is this is a scandal. This is a scandal that somebody you really you really had to go through it, because I just feel like and it could simply be a situation where you've always, and like they think that you're secretive, but it's not that you're secretive. You just don't, you don't feel the need to tell everybody everything. It's a difference between someone being secretive and having a secret life and someone that just doesn't feel the need to tell somebody every aspect of their life. And that's how you don't tell someone every aspect of your life. You don't feel as though that's necessary. Like, why do they need to know every single one of your friends? Why do they need to know every single place that you go? Why do they need to know every single thing? It's not a situation where you were doing anything bad or you were doing anything wrong. You just didn't tell them because it was none of their business. Nosy people be so like they confuse something simply not being a business with somebody being secretive. You know what I'm saying? If somebody don't want me to know, so it is what it is. I ain't gonna trip about it. Okay, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I ask because I'm trying to be nice. You know what I'm saying? Make conversation. But if you don't want to talk, it's cool. You want to change the conversation, do your thing. But I'm not like, I just feel like this is somebody that they nosy. They want to know all your business and they want to know everything you got going on and they want to know all this here. And for nine out of 10, these people, they want to twist it and flip it and try to make it out to be something bad that it's not. They want to make it out to be something that it is not. They want to make it out to be, they try to find ways to make you out to be a monster. They try to find ways to make you out to be this terrible person, you this awful person. And why would you do that? And why would you go there? And why would you do this? And why? In reality, you ain't doing nothing wrong. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing wrong. And like I said, it's like it's people. And for some of you, it's probably a good thing that you don't tell this person all your business because they ain't gonna do nothing but try to be messy and tell people that don't even need to know your business anyway. They ain't gonna do nothing but try to make you sound like you the worst person in the world. That's what they want to do. But in reality, all that don't matter. Like they have an objective. Their objective is to keep you from reaching this point that God has for you. That point is set in stone. And their objective is never going to be met because who they perceive you to be is not who you are. You never were that person. You never were that person. You never were that person. I'm being reminded of the people that was trying to accuse me of being a stripper. I was like, I never was that. Like, I never was on the pole. I never was on the pole. I never was on the pole. I ain't gonna sit here and lie and say I never been in the place, but I never was on the pole. Down here in Houston, that's after hours, okay? But they got the best wigs, but I don't go no more. But you know what I'm saying? I never was on the pole. That was never me. That was never me. That was never a part of me running the streets. I worked. I had a job as a nursing assistant. And when I got off work, I would go and hang out with my friends. And that's just me being real. I'm not finna lie or fake the funk and act like, this wasn't a part of my journey. This wasn't a part of my life. It is. Now, do I go now? No. I don't. Like, you're not gonna find. You can come down here all you want to and go through all the clubs you want. You probably, let me tell you about life and how you was not finna find me. But anyways, but that's just me being real, And I just feel like this is someone that they have perceived. They may take bits and pieces. Like maybe they see you on social media or they see this post and that post and they try to take bits and pieces and they want to make you out to be a certain person and you're not that. They cannot take a little itty bitty piece of a story and find the truth in that. And, in reality, once again, like I said, it's a situation where it's not this person's business. No way. And yeah, and it's probably better off that way. I just feel like this is somebody that they will find themselves in shock and appallment because the person that they try to bring you out and they feel like the real you needs to come out. And if the real you would come out, then you will be exposed. You are the real you, first of all. And the person that you used to be ain't even as bad as they thinking. The person that they have fabricated in their mind is never going to come out of you, okay? Because that was never you. That was not you to begin with. That was never you to begin with. Like I'm just being reminded of how on the Goofy movie when the principal called the dad and he was making Max out to be this horrible person when all he did was just do a little performance on the stage to try to get the girl's attention. He ain't do all that. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't really that bad of a kid. It's actually kind of impressive that he was able to do all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? He actually came up with him and his friends came up with the idea and did all it. But I just feel like the little stuff that you used to do are things that you used to be. Who you used to be is not as bad as this person has embedded in their mind that they are going to expose you. But in reality, who they think of you as you used to be, that ain't even you. That's the message. That is the message. That's the message. And that's the message, Simone. God said, even if you were to get upset and be who you used to be for a second, for a minute, for 5 minutes, it don't mean that now all of a sudden everything is going to fall apart for you. And who they are imagining is not who you are. It was never who you were. You were never what they want to portray you to be. You were never like that. That's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Deuces.